All right, today we're doing our second full body workout. Starting it out though, the same as we did the first one. Just a nice simple marching in place for 20 to 30 reps warm up. Make sure you feel nice and warm. Again, if it feels at all too hard for you or your balance starts to fail at all, just grab onto a wall or a doorway. It'll help a lot. As long as we got good form. Make sure we're warming up the hips properly. Our first exercise today is going to be seated leg raise. We're just going to sit back in the chair and we're going to try and keep our toes up a little bit while we just lift our knees up as high as we can. Should feel it in your hips and in your quads. Doing 8 to 12 reps on all of our exercises today once again. Going to be doing 5 exercises as well consecutively. The next exercise is wall push-ups. We're just going to be doing regular push-ups you'd be doing on the ground, but against the wall. Now, if you want to make these at all harder for yourself, just bring your feet backwards away from the wall a little bit further, and that'll increase the weight. If it's a little bit too hard for you, then just come a little bit closer to the wall. Don't lean quite as much into it. Our next exercise is going to be a side leg raise, focusing on those hips and the side glutes again. I would suggest using a chair or a wall or leaning against something with this because it is very intense on the balance. If this starts to get way too easy for you for some reason, more power to you. Definitely just let go of a chair and it'll get 10 times hard, 10 times as hard. And the next exercise is just going to be simple overhead press, which you can do with soup cans or water bottles or whatever you feel is contributing to your strength. Whatever feels the best. Just make absolutely sure that you are moving within a pain-free range of motion on everything. If it hurts, always stop. It's not worth it. And then our last exercise for this circuit is going to be back leg raises, just like the side leg raises, but only in the back, focusing more on the glutes than those the side of the leg there. Make sure you keep your hips tilted like a dog who's trying to push his tail up. I think I mentioned tail tucking last time, but don't do that. The opposite of that. And then just to cool down again, we're going to be doing just the same 5 simple stretches. Honestly, probably some of the most helpful ones I've found personally after a workout. Starting with just hamstrings first. Just bring one leg up, just like you're in the regular sitting position, and with the other one extended, completely straight with your toe up a little bit. And you're going to reach down with that same arm. Make sure you're not twisting your spine at all. Until you feel a stretch in your hamstring. Just hold it for 10 seconds then. And then our next one, we're going to be stretching our hips, our hip flexors. Just trying to cross your legs, kind of dude style as opposed to lady style, I guess you could call it. Just trying to pull that ankle up as far as we can up the shin until we feel a stretch in the hips. Totally okay if that doesn't get past the knee. I would be shocked if everyone got past the knee. I could barely get there sometimes myself. Very good stretch on the hips here. Make sure it doesn't hurt at all. Starts to hurt, just let go. Nice and easy. Our next stretch, we're just gonna, once again, we're pulling our arm across our chest. Hugging it real nice and tight. If that feels tough on your shoulders at all, feel free to just let go. I know some people have rotator cuff issues, I myself included, so it occasionally can get a little touchy there. Just make sure you're not pulling too hard, nice and easy with everything. And we're gonna put our palm up to the ceiling again and reach over like we're trying to high five the ceiling. Doing it on the opposite side as well. Should feel it all down the rib cage there. And then our last exercise, or last stretch, I should say, just stretching our hip flexor again. So just sit down sideways on the chair and scoot a leg or a butt cheek off and throw that knee down and slowly, very easy, push forwards through that stretch. And you'll feel it in your right or left hip, whichever one has the knee touching the ground. Make sure we're doing trying to focus on hitting the intensity of 8 to 12 reps on all of those exercises. So if it gets too hard or too easy, make sure you try and hit between 8 and 12 reps. Just adjust the intensity by yourself. Threw a few variations in there, so shouldn't be too difficult. And if it starts to get real easy, all the exercises, you're doing 3 sets every time, push it to 4 sets. Start hitting 4 sets with everything. And that feels too hard, go back down on the intensity again.